The midterm results paint the commander-in-chief as a lame duck waddling down the steps of Air Force One. And many Republicans who despise his style of government at home will also want to know how the US's foreign policy will be affected. And on issues ranging from the standoff with Russia to strategy against ISIL, the immediate perception is that a harder line is likely to be followed than President Obama would naturally want to pursue.
I think we're going to see a much more aggressive foreign policy from the United States. I think we're going to see much less foreign aid. I think the president's going to have a lot less room to negotiate with the Iran nuclear deal. He's going to have less room to negotiate when it comes to Ukraine. And I think that the U.S. peace process, any negotiations with Palestine and Israel, are going to get much more hawkish. I think Obama's going to be very constrained. He wants to make promises to the world, but he's going to have to come back and get approval from a Congress that doesn't want to work with him.
Little doubt that in Jerusalem, where Prime Minister Netanyahu has fought off increasingly strident criticism by the Obama administration, the government will feel it has a protective layer surrounding it in Senate and Congress. And in Russia, President Putin has proved impervious to threats of sanctions over Ukraine. He's unlikely to want to offer concessions to some of his strongest critics in Washington. Yet it may not automatically follow that more hawks in the Senate means a more hawkish foreign policy.
I think you'll see a more divided Senate, not necessarily a more hawkish one. The Republicans have been able to criticize Obama with one voice. They all agree that they don't like what he's doing. What they haven't been able to agree on is what we should be doing instead, whether the United States should pursue more engagement abroad, a different kind of engagement abroad, or focus more of its attention on domestic issues.
It finally happened.
So the reality may be that US foreign policy, already accused of a lack of focus, has even less direction in the next 2 years, as the Republican Party simultaneously restricts the commander-in-chief while working out a coherent strategy to take into national elections. In the end, that can only mean less American influence in the immediate future. Lawrence Lee, Al Jazeera.